Friends, you never know who you'll touch in life. You never know how or when you'll have an impact or how important your example can be to someone else. My faith helps me understand that circumstances don't dictate my happiness or my inner peace. The chances you take, the people you meet, the people you love, the faith that you have, that's what's going to define you. You have to be who you are in this world, no matter what. At the end of the day, my friends, it's not about what you have or even what you've accomplished. It's about what you've done with those accomplishments. It's about who have you lifted up, who have you made better. It's about what you've given back to those people. I think personally a role model is a mentor, someone who you see on a daily basis and you learn from them. My faith taught me how to forgive. Faith taught me when people present themselves in a certain way, there's probably some backstory or issue or reason for the way that they are acting. It's not you, my friends. It's them. And a lot of times, it's about something that's completely out of their control. Put God first. I've been protected. I've been directed. I've been corrected. I've kept God in my life, and it's kept me humble. I didn't always stick with Him, but He always stuck with me. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams, and they ultimately fuel disappointment. And understand, to achieve these goals, you must apply discipline and consistency. You'll never see a U-Haul behind a hearse. It's not how much you have in life. It's about what you do with what you have. That's where the success is in helping others. Say thank you in advance for what's already yours. That's how I live my life. True desire in the heart for anything good is God's proof to you, sent beforehand to indicate that it's yours already. My advice is this, and it's simple. Don't just aspire to make a living. Friends, aspire to make a difference. And may God bless each and every one of you, and take good care. Bye-bye now. Good morning. My name is Ralf Friedrichs. I am an author, an addiction recovery coach, a life coach, and the host of this show, to Take Your Life Back Today radio show. You can see a video version of this if you go to YouTube under channel Take Your Life Back Today show. Friends, 5 stages of distrust, how it destroys your relationships with family members. You saw my part 1 about a certain family member, how they destroyed our trust for them. I have had it with a certain family member, and their lies, their nastiness, and their complete disregard for us and others. By nature, I am a pretty trustworthy person, or trusting person, I should say. This is part 2 from a previous episode about being taken advantage by this same family member. Listen, under normal circumstances, I tend to extend trust to others, expecting they will return trust in kind. If the other person proves to be untrustworthy, as this family member, then I'll dial back the level of trust I place in him or her. In relationships with families where I've experienced distrust, I have found it usually isn't caused by one significant breach of trust, although those are the ones that grab our immediate attention, but rather several smaller instances over time. A broken promise here, a missed deadline there, and a pattern of unreliable, unethical, incompetent, or uncaring behavior becomes the trend to look for. Distrust doesn't happen overnight. It develops progressively through stages, and if we can recognize these stages, when we're in them, we have a chance to address the situation before distrust takes its root. Listen, number 1 is doubt. The first stage of distrust begins with doubt. You start to experience a slight uncertainty about someone's trustworthiness that causes you to pause just a bit. It might be the nagging doubt in the back of your mind that you can't seem to dismiss no matter how hard you try, or something just doesn't feel right about the situation, even though you can't put your finger on it exactly. Number 2 is suspicion. Doubt if unresolved, grows into suspicion over time. Suspicion is belief without proof. You've started to see a pattern of behavior that may indicate a lack of trust, but you don't quite have enough proof to make a firm conclusion. Your trust radar is telling you that something is wrong. Number 3 is anxiety, my friends. The third stage of distrust is anxiety, a feeling of apprehension or uneasiness that is often manifested physically. When dealing with someone you don't quite trust, or don't trust at all, in my case with this family member, you may experience nervousness, a rapid heartbeat, anger, a knotted stomach, or even disgust where I am now. Fear is number 4. At this point in a relationship, distrust has risen to a point where you are afraid to show vulnerability. You have experienced repeated breaches of trust and have grown to distrust another person to the point you are afraid of your emotional well-being. Don't let that happen to you because of individuals, please. Number 5 is self-protection. As a result of fear you've moved into a state of self-protection. You put up walls in your relationship, prevent the other person of getting close to you. This act of self-preservation reduces your vulnerability, but also cements the state of distrust in the relationship. Trust is the cord that holds people together in family relationships, and when it is severed, like this person has now finally done to us, this family member, disconnection happens. When you can no longer be vulnerable with the others, you begin to experience different things in your relationship. Here are some experiences of damaged trust. Withdrawal. Instead of acting carefree, which is normal in trusting relationships, you become more reserved in sharing personal information. You quit taking risks in the relationships because the safety net has removed. Loneliness or feeling dead or frozen inside is a common feeling. Movement to tasks. To compensate for the lack of trust in the relationship, you may overinvest yourself in tasks related to hobbies, work, school, church, or other activities. You stay active in other parts of your life because you find it easier to do than to connect. You shut down the personal part of your relationship with the person in question. Friends, unbalanced giver relationships. Listen, let me point out that it is common for a person to be the giver in all relationships and to avoid receiving. Being the giver, like I am, allows you to remain safe from being vulnerable with another person. You will listen, help, guide, but withholding letting others help you. Being the giver also manifests itself to codependent relationships. Bad habits. Trust issues can often lead to problematic behavioral patterns in your life. It's easy to suppress our emotional feelings by overeating, drinking too much, or other addictive behaviors. Distrust can spread through a relationship like wildfire. What starts as a small ember of doubt can mushroom into full-on blaze distrust if we don't take steps to address it early. The best way to prevent distrust from taking root is to proactively focus on building trust, which sometimes can be hard when it's really broken. Trust must be continually developed and nurtured throughout the course of a relationship, not just when it's damaged. And sometimes it's damaged to a point where it cannot be fixed. Call me at 844-405-HELP. Together, we can help each other take our lives back. Be good to yourselves. Always be good to each other. Remember, simple smile to anyone can change their day, change their life, and can change your life. Early morning, God hasn't turned the lights on for us yet, but here, I'm telling you, through God, anything and everything is possible. Reach out to God this early morning and ask Him for guidance and direction. And may God bless each and every one of you. Take good care, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye now.